do you really support the killing of 33, perhaps even as high as 40,000 Palestinians, the killing of 14,000 children, the wholesale destruction of the largest Palestinian city, Gaza City? So much damage has been inflicted on the Gaza Strip, this small little piece of land, so much so that the World Bank is now estimating that it's in the tune of $18.5 billion, or 97% of the combined GDP of the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. That's how much damage has been done. And the response by Israelis is indifference at best, or wholesale support in most common form. We see this because even though there are demonstrations now against the Netanyahu government, it's important to keep in mind that these are demonstrations against him. These are not demonstrations against what Israel's doing in the Gaza Strip. To the contrary, 88% of Israelis are not satisfied that Israel believe that Israel hasn't used enough force against this occupied, dispossessed, civilian, refugee, child population. So we are facing not only these genocidal statements, but genocidal intent that has completely been ignored, or in fact embraced. In the worst case, ignored. In the best case, ignored. In the worst case, embraced by Israeli society. Those same TikToks that you and I are seeing, TikToks of Israeli soldiers holding on to women's lingerie, TikToks of Israeli soldiers writing proposals in the houses of Palestinian houses inside the Gaza Strip, TikToks in which they are literally shackling people's hands to the point where their hands are requiring amputation, TikToks in which they are mocking Palestinians who have been thrown in prison, hostages, TikToks in which they are urinating on Palestinians. This is the same stuff that the same thing that you're seeing is the same stuff that I'm seeing. And so you have to ask yourself, why? Why? Why is it that these TikToks are allowed to happen? Why is it that Israel's allowed to behave in this way? Why? And the answer is because for 76 years, Israel and Israelis have been coddled. They haven't been held accountable at all for any of the violations of human rights, for any of the war crimes that they have perpetrated, for any of the massacres that they have carried out, and certainly not for this genocide. In fact, to the contrary, we've already seen that one order came out with provisional measures by the ICJ. A second one came out from the ICJ. The UN Security Council has voted for a ceasefire. And let me be clear in saying that there's no such thing as a non-binding Security Council resolution. They can try to rewrite history, but you can't rewrite it, but it will fail. Despite all of that, despite these measures but despite these orders, and despite the ceasefire, we see that Israel has ignored it. And what has the response been? Crickets, silence. Because once again, the world has made Palestinians feel as though our lives mean nothing. That it doesn't matter that this is the most documented place on earth. All it is that it's excusable, it can be turned a blind eye, and that actually the system of law isn't really a system of law. It's a system of law for the entire world, except for Israel. And this is where it becomes so vital and so important for our efforts to now be focused on this issue of accountability and on this issue of sanctions, so that Israelis are no longer allowed to feel that they can post videos in the videos that they've been posting and do the things that they have been doing and get away with it. Believe me, inside Israeli society, nobody's even questioning this. Nobody's even saying, whoa, this is bad. To the contrary, it's being applauded.